Namanda, 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 namanda.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Shotsuki monthly memorial service for July. My name is Joyce Maniwa, and I will be your chairperson for today. Reverend Fujimoto will now read the names of those who have passed away in the month of July. Those observing monthly memorial for their loved ones, please come forward and offer incense.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to be back here today after all our festivities and busyness for the bazaar. So I've been looking forward to this. So today's our Shotsuki service for the month of July, and it's always a special occasion to have our Shotsuki service and have families coming to honor those that they have lost. So please come up in Oshoko during the reading of the name. Akahashi Chuji, Akinaga Hisae, Arae Shigeki, Egawa Infant Shomei, Endo Atsuki, Endo Muneko, Fujimoto Susan, Fujimoto Reverend Hogan, Hamachi Yoneko, Hamasaki Sai, Harada Tamaru, Hasegawa Mie, Higake Jutaro, Hirata Kiku, Ikeda Koroku, Ikeda Masako, Inoue Kanjiro, Ishikawa Shigeko, Ishiwata Ichiro, Ito Umeno, Kanemaru Tsugi, Kanzaki Tomitaro, Kawabata Norihiro, Kayahara Hideko, Kitayama Yoko, Kondo Minoru, Kumagai Mitsuno, Kuroki Mieo Mike, Manning Melvin G, Marubayashi Hatsutaro, Marubayashi Lee Ruriko, Matsumoto Kameichi McHugh John William Lucas, Mikami Fusae, Mikami Takuzo, Mitsumi Infant Mitsuko, Miyake Kazuo, Miyasaki Chi, Mizono William, Morikoshi Hatsu, Murakami Kikue, Murakoshi Ken, Nakamura Infant Naritaka, Nagasugi Yaohachi, Northrop, Emiko, Newt, Bruce, Ogata, Kyo, Okada, Kyo, Okafuji, Infant, Ikuya, Okamoto, Ichi, Omi, Infant, Kyoko, Sadamori, Gary, Saito, Tsugi, Sakaki, Kenshiro, Sakamoto, Toki, Sasaki, Unosuke, Sekigahama, Shige, Suiko, Hamako, Iwanami, Sugimoto, Seikichi, Sugiyama, Anna, Sueyasu, Dennis, Sueyasu, Anne, Takaki, Chieko, Takayama, Shimako, Takeda, Tadao, Takizawa, Infant, Tanaka, Danny G, Tateyama, Masaichi, Tomine, Chris, Shinya, Tawata, John, Tsuboi, Infant, Sadano, Tsuda, Genjiro, Tsugi, Otokichi, Tsuji, Mio, Umeki, Infant, Seiichi, Ushijima, Harry, Wakabayashi, Katsuno, Yamagami, Yonekichi, Yamamoto, Thomas, Yamamoto, Toshi, Yamaoka, Hisako, Yamaoka, Matsushi, Matsuyo, Yamaoka, Sensuke, Yamashita, Hideo, Yamasaki, Yas, Yamasaki, Fumie, Yonenaka, Infant, Yoshida, Infant, Hidemi, Yoshida, Tokuji, Yoshiwara, Avery, Wong, Stephen. Today we are adding Mr. Stephen Wong. This is not his Shotsuki month, but the family is able to attend, so we would like to call upon his name. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of July. If there are additions or corrections, please notify the office. Thank you.
We will now have Sutra chanting in the Hyobyakumon. This will be Sambutsuge on pages 24 and 25. Really? No, it says, Sambujo. And then reading of the Hyobyakumon. After that, we will have Sutra chanting of Amida Kyo on page 103.
Oh, Today, on this occasion of the Shotsuki service for the month of July, members of our temple families have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namu Butsu, Namu Ho, Namu Soul. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namu Amida Busto. Namu Amida Busto. Namu Amida Busto.
Page 103.
Amida Kyo. うろかく逆意今後ルリアリシャコシクシュメノニゴンチキシ地中連芸大用車輪小式小公公式陽公宿式釈公逆式白公微妙高血シ利用空欄国領長寿領税武力将軍武者利用異部国土調査見学黄金一昼夜六時二遊万だらけ広告修上上民小単英国上州養鶏供養他方十万六物即位直時伝統本国本直上行シ利法国ら国土長寿領税空毒将軍物資シ利法義国上部修十奇妙さ式市長学国着法武者利阿女民が無名市長聖書中長長や六時水和米音高音年長高根法力死亡大門発祥道文行政東方行動修正音声四理大失年仏年高年尊者利用尿物意識長実税産法少々小医者が異部国道無産幕主者利法公部国道小無産幕道司名家教部実税所宗長大聖阿弥陀仏力量法音全流演芸少佐者利法義部国道義部水道小法五十十法南無水味妙音非妙百千十学当時空三音声音者大事念上念仏念法念相死心者利用大部国道長寿領税空力将軍Namanda
Please stand for the Gatha Namu Amida Busto in the White Book on page 96. Remain standing for the reading of the three treasures on page 8 in the Purple Book.
Switch to our purple books, page 8. Three treasures, number 1. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namu Amida Busto. Namu Amida Busto. Namu Amida Busto. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated.
Now Reverend Fujimoto will give us a Dharma talk.
Good morning again. Ohayo gozaimasu. It's hard to believe we're into July already. We've had 3 weeks without service as we prepared for the bazaar, and then we put things away, and an extra weekend off, and now Bon Odori is just around the corner. Are we ready? We are ready. So at this time, we've had a couple of weekends and opportunity to reflect upon our bazaar, so many instances, conversations that we had, interactions, reunions and meetings, so many things had to happen. Help is given and help is received, and too much to count. So many people came through the gates on Saturday and Sunday, and when we think about all this interaction, to me, it's kind of a glimpse of Indra's net. We always talk about reminding ourselves of this image of Indra's net, this net extending in all directions, infinite in scope, infinite in direction. And each knot of the net is a jewel that reflects the light of the other jewels in the net. And it's a beautiful, dazzling image. And it's an image of us, right? We are the jewels in the net. We're reflecting the light from the other jewels, from the other people that come. And this is our happening at the bazaar. So to me, this is my image of the temple, of the Dharma, and I hope you can see the same image too. I think one of the highlights of the bazaar was the rice washing machine. Not everyone got to see it, but we were lent a rice washing machine by Walnut Grove Buddhist Church, and you can wash a whole bag of rice at one time. Pour the whole, it's such a ordeal, right, to wash the rice, that much rice, cooking, getting ready to cook each batch of rice, and we used to do this by hand. So this year, for the first time, we had this rice washing machine, and you just pump water in it, and the force of the water moves the rice, and the water gets a little more clear, and it's ready. It's incredible. So not everyone saw it, but we were washing rice the day before, and people were just watching this machine function. Like, wow, look at that. We should have had a video of that, right? So when I was watching that, Charmin and I were talking about it later, and I thought, yeah, we could have our own bazaar nursery rhyme, like the nursery rhyme, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, right? So we learned to say these things, and kind of a tongue twister. And so the rice wash machine, right? The rice wash machine. How much rice would a rice wash if a rice wash would wash rice? Right? Okay, let's say that together real fast. How much rice would a rice wash if a rice wash would wash rice? White? White? Yeah, it'll be our Jodo Shinshu nursery rhyme that we could say. So I'm waiting to hear it from someone else. Who else would think of this, right? So we'll see where it comes from a different temple, right? So after the bazaar, we come back to service, and it's a little bit of a shift. The bazaar mentality of hosting, welcoming, fellowship, and fun. And the obon is fun too, but it's a little bit more somber. Some want to emphasize cultural display, music, odori dancing, the beautiful kimonos and the lanterns swaying, but there's more to it. And we at the temple, we're connected through the temple, see more to it than this cultural display, this whole spectrum of life and death that is reflected by the Bon Odori. And this is what our Shin Buddhist teachings are moving us towards, a full view, complete view of life, not just what we want to see, what we prefer to see. Okay? A view beyond ego, a view beyond our own preference. Right? So today I wanted to talk about Kakure Nembutsu. We've talked about this before, hidden Nembutsu. Let's start with this reading. Please join me in Gassho. Although we have the teachings of Shakyamuni, there are no sentient beings who can practice them. Hence, it is taught that in the last Dharma age, not a single person will attain enlightenment through them. Namu Amida Busto. Namu Amida Busto. Namu Amida Busto. Namanda. Namanda. So this is one of Shindan's Wasan's, and he's talking about the last Dharma age where the Dharma doesn't really hold true, and he's talking about his understanding of the Nembutsu teachings. We have the teachings from Shakyamuni Buddha, the historical Buddha, but at this time it's so difficult to practice them and to be true to them. So the Nembutsu teachings are to go beyond our own self-effort and to rely upon our connection with Amida. And through the Nembutsu, we become awakened. So it's a different path. So the teachings of the historical Buddha will make us better people, live a better life, but in terms of awakening, we're going to fall short. So he's encouraging us to recognize this process of the Nembutsu teachings. Okay? So I wanted to talk about Kakure Nembutsu, hidden Nembutsu. So here at our temples, it's so easy to come and go. We come and join in. And I remember one Hakujin member came to the Idaho, Oregon temple. He had practiced Tibetan Buddhism before. He had read some books and he had his own beads, and he's coming and came for 3-4 months and participated, sitting in service, and said, boy, this is the easiest form of Buddhism I've ever found. He's thinking about what kind of practice, what kind of discipline do we need to do. And here we say the Nembutsu, we chant together, we eat together, we visit, and in that we reflect upon everyday life, right? So it's Kakure Nembutsu is a development of people hiding to practice this Nembutsu. So it's so comfortable. We just come in here, sit down, and so easy. But there was a time in Japan where it was not so easy. Through the time of the shogunate era, okay? And so people had to hide to practice the Nembutsu, to hear the teachings. And so as we come to learn about that, we learn how deeply the teachings affected people and the struggles that they had to go through to overcome their conditions and to keep the teachings alive in certain parts of Japan. Okay. So Kakure Nembutsu, hidden Nembutsu. And this had to happen because the government banned this meeting of these groups who wanted to listen to the Nembutsu teachings and to practice reciting the Nembutsu. Okay? And so they hid. They would meet in caves and in different hidden places. And you can go today and find these temples. The minister will take you up a path and go to this cave. It's quite a ways, and you can imagine how difficult it was for these people to sneak up there, to be able to listen to the teachings and to chant together, say the Nembutsu together. Okay? And this is primarily directed towards the Honganji branch of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, and because they were becoming so popular just by sheer numbers, the Honganji was gaining more and more influence and power because so many people came to recognize the Nembutsu, and you didn't have to become a monk. Everyday people living their lives, they could join in, and so they had more and more people. So other schools of Buddhism became threatened by the growth of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. Okay? And the government became threatened. They would donate money to the temple which meant they would have less money to get taxed by the government, right? So all of this is going on, and so a large part due to jealousy and fear of this group getting stronger, stronger and stronger. And so this happened for 300 years. It's hard to imagine, right? So what next year will be, when we come to 4th of July, that's 250 years of America even being here. So 300 years, how many generations of people are that? Is that? So they would, if they were caught things of their altar pieces, a scroll of Namu Amida Busto, any kind of things that identified them with Shin Buddhism would be gathered and burned. And people found practicing the Nembutsu, they would get tortured. They would be asked, where do you meet? Who else comes to these meetings? And so they would get tortured. And one of the forms of torture, we've talked about this, they would make people sit Japanese style, and they have these triangular slats of wood that they lay across your thighs. And then they place a stone, flat stone, 30 kilograms, about 66 pounds, bigger than a bag of rice. They lay it on your lap, and you're holding that weight, and these edges of the slats are cutting into, and you add another stone, and you add another stone. And so this was kind of a torture that they would go through. And so 5 of these slats would normally crush a person's leg and cause them to die. And so this is kind of a torture that these Nembutsu followers would go through. And difficult to imagine. Huh? They would go and hide in these smaller groups, caves, different places, meeting. And as they met, they would collect offerings of money, and someone would be selected to take this money to Honganji. And it was considered an honor to be able to carry the money. Once you get there, you can listen to one of the very respected teachers of the Dharma, maybe even the Gomonshu. So it was an honor to be asked to carry this money and go, right? So a great risk as well, right? We get donations here. People drop off at the mailbox. Some are mailed. Some people just stick it in as they're going through town. And so when I pick up the mail, I get the mail, and carrying these, some are from my house. A lot of them are donations to the temple. So I go up the stairs and I leave them for Tom, for him to keep track of, right? So sometimes going up the stairs is hard, but I'm not going to get kidnapped and killed, right? Much difficulty that they had to go through. So hard to imagine that someone would be threatened, so afraid for their lives that something like this would happen, okay? Torture, executions, and things like this. So this happened until 1876, after the Meiji Restoration, so not that long ago. So this is a part of Shin Buddhist history, and maybe similar to parts of human history. Those in control work to keep the preferred order so that they can keep their place at the top of the chain. We see that still. We see that in America. We see that all over the world. We see that in history, and we see that today. Okay. So 300 years in Shin Buddhism, the people just like us practicing this Nembutsu had to hide, meeting in secrecy. Okay. I've not had the opportunity to go up to one of their caves. Maybe someone else has here in this group, but hard to imagine. But to go up, to hike up a hill and go to this cave to see the stones that they used for torture, really help you to appreciate what people had to endure to bring the teachings forward. And from there, people, the first generations moving here to America from Japan, and carrying a part of this history that we don't really clearly realize. So when we think of our history, Grandma and Grandpa, maybe 4 generations. Beyond that, it becomes a blur. We barely recognize the names. We don't have an image to their faces, right? But this is like 10, 12 generations going back to these kind of times, right? Holding this. So I think it's important to remind ourselves that it's not just the money working hard together that makes Obon, the Obon festival, special. It's the Nembutsu, these teachings. How many people are able to hear the Nembutsu for the first time when they come? We have a little session here. We welcome them in. You know, some people are helping them change to kimono and yukata, or they want to hear something that sensei has to say here as the time, before the time of the Bon Odori. So we are reminded, once again, that these teachings of reflection and appreciation make every moment life full. And this is why we come, to complete that journey, to come to a place where we see this depth of life and death and come to this deep appreciation of it. This is what the purpose of the Nembutsu teachings. Okay. Then we dance, and it's fun, and it's touching. I can remember so many times last year, the year before, I was dancing under Grandma's name, Grandpa's name, and they know which areas of the circle. This is their family's part, and they're touched, and we see this happening, right? So it's not just a cultural thing. It's so much depth that comes from recognizing this life and death, the whole spectrum that we're asked to recognize, to realize, and make it real for ourselves. So this is what Obon is about, and we are getting ready to welcome so many more people to this. Okay. Are we ready? We are ready. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Busto. Namu Amida Busto. Namu Amida Busto. Namanda. Namanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Dennis, for your Dharma message and reminding us of our interconnectedness with everything and everyone. Please stand for our Gatha, We Are One, on pages 150 to 152 in the White Book.
Namu Amida
seated.
Thank you to all those who helped with the altar flower preparation and the service. Reverend Dennis with the service. And YouTube was done by Brian, altar flowers by Jane, organist is Lenny, and to all who brought refreshments for today's monthly memorial service. Are there any newcomers or visitors here today? I know they came before, but you can introduce them again. Thank you. Thank you for coming to our service today. For the announcements, next Sunday, July 13th, is a family service, and it's our birthday Sunday. Just Saturday, July 19th, is our Obon Festival, or Obon Odori Festival. We will have talks by Reverend Dennis at 5 p.m. and 5:30, and food sales will start at 5 p.m. There will be burgers, hot dogs, and chicken wings. Obon dancing starts at 7:30. On Sunday, July 20th, is our Hatsubon and Obon service, which starts at 1 p.m. Obon dance practices will be held Monday and Wednesday this week from 7:30, July 9th and I'm really messed up today, July 7th and July 9th. Next week, it'll be on Tuesday and Thursday, which is July 15th and July 17th. On Sunday, July 27th, family service and Ask Reverend Dennis will be held. Any other announcements? Thank you everyone for attending today's service. Please come up and offer incense and join us for refreshments in the hall. Thank you.